news. So now there's been some news about a dollar sem any IMF warning any in some APP the more they are busy
data from BOG, because first quarter from data from IMF Treasury, they spent about $4.55 billion to support the city. Now, over October, about 1.1 billion, and now for November, so about 1 billion. And cumulatively, within the 10 months of the NDC, in power, they have spent I'm not even going to the excesses of the data. I'm just going strictly by my data now. Almost okay. They have spent 6.55 billion to support the currency, as against 6 billion that the NPP spent as far as this data is concerned for the 3 years. And that argument is even a non-starter in the first place. You don't even visit it. Because we'll be spending 6 billion in 3 years. No, we are spending 6.55 billion in just 10 months. How do you want to see that quick drop? It is 6.5 billion you are spending in 10 months. It's one of the reasons in here you that quick drop in the exchange rate as far as CD now into the dollar is concerned. Now, way and America say way one of the reasons in here. In city terms, because the city no ahode akosro no, and they say also sa waka wo dia no in dollar. Now what the best city there, sikano ebe kofom.
And Ramete say former finance minister a raise issue about IMF regulation of this government and the spending.
Yeah.
Adetina we in IMF enka ho asem.
Dero IMF aka ho asem so obekaya somewhere in July.
And ba say omo ba for a year assessment na abina withdraw on back we are no dey gum so adetina IMF ain't keep your money in check.
When we say men can say being an economist, let me frank here this morning, men can say wo and we yare and will be trust send your doctor here betna he and wa ka kire wa we yare ne se menua eni anwa say doctor na ba no ba be you reviewer no we ja anwadi. So doctor no review here no he bibia so ampa sisi our cholesterol level akofoma no wa sha say edi anwa deru doctor no na wo ye na say wa wo ya na wo ye o we dey misro I say this
so wa na wo person wu
excellent enti de BOG no say bi onya IMF na wo ye no ono na wo ye no ho adenti na make say because the baby say ho ne say you are spending 6.55 billion. Nasa still na exchange rate ni jina approximately $11 11 cedis to $1. In essence, on the average, every year, we need not less than 6 billion in order to keep the city stable. That is what it means. Now, question I see BC I want to say, looking at the structure of our economy. A year solely dependent on gold. Say a gold windfall prices. And untina ama sika ye nyina ye nya de etie. And it's a wash the same budget no cry. Or catch now say GDP growth in 2025 hugely backed by growth in the gold sector. By about gold contribute to about 33.6% in terms of overall GDP growth. We do maybe I'm person me go into details baby I go if because you know baby if say galamsey good because almost gold board no say what offer license buyer. The question is license buyer no when one also air traffic do you have the means to double check obi a license buyer need to go the next one na into a home there I don't want to go there.
But the data nature say 54% of total gold exports nifi local small scale and 85% of the small scale sufi galamsey
into obviously say na
galamsey good.
Now tell you see the danger here is me who say is it Forbes or one of those institutions early last month Sunday one I think it's Forbes or something Forbes almost Sunday one and they say Ghana is treading on a thin line because the economy currently is dependent solely on gold. On the as of 2024 December, time MPP fresh. Now gold on the world market was trading around $2,300 an ounce. Now, fast forward by February 2025, now gold are rising a little over 3,000. Any I can say gold is hovering between $3,900 and $4,000 an ounce. In essence, the trend say gold exports are year in 2024 no say ye increase no and they are maintaining the same output of gold exporter because of the rise in price in we may be getting about 2 times the revenue near Yana. Now one of the things that is also happening is on said and there will be some question be maybe I'm about in your intro no be starting to MPP anye. Now one of the issues a woman is say because say MPP called Johnny IMF no there were some fundamental conditionalities na it was a MPP and I said let me not say MPP it was a Ghana a BT because MPP the Ghana and a called Johnny IMF. Now one of these fundamental conditionality and say now we see it to me build your gross international reserves sikana sebio yesi NSA oyeni bi emmo but oyeni bi beba na yentumi nya sika mfiri bebi no na ebetumi di atwitwa ye ho no na ewo se ewo formal ma mi setam e kodwo ne IMF no na ya about be 2 or 3 weeks import cover per the IMF conditionalities no see a build it to a minimum of 4.2 months import cover by the time a MPP fee akonyemu no na ya exceeded that threshold no na ya take it and as far as the NDC ebedi akonyana is concerned that pressure to build reserve no anyhow. Okay, let me be blunt here because the existing reserves no that 8.98 billion no, at that time no cover more than 4 months.
As I said 9 billion MP
9 billion this year me so more be record 11 billion so that's an
yeah.
And this is just within 2 years from 2023 to 2024 and MPP builds our reserves and the whole of this year now we and this is just 2 billion per and I come and it is telling you so while MPP in a year was cumulatively building a reserve of more than 4 billion the NDC in a year is building an average of what 2 billion.
I know the scan could be building reserve no edigu
afi so what economy yes so it is sad pressure in ho and secondly so no because of debt restructuring na ebo sia ko na de ne tigi atreman MPP abandon the tikodi atreman debt restructuring and Ghana for to abetia na enama nu so yes suspending your debt payments yes say ebi kro ho yes say hwehwe so to say interest payment and a range around 9 to 10% no yes say MPP for sakori negotiating by between 5 to 6% no and this fiscal space no MPP aban na Akufo-Addo no ba me adan no create ma NDC enti NDC ebe full akonya no sa pressure so maba omo de meka egumi no ebi ne so and secondly by divine or whatever intervention that I don't know in terms of world market price of gold no so no omo be to no bra gold nso ebo was because of eya nia Donald Trump ne ntokwafo a on China ne the advanced world na eko. Now, because of this trade war, investors globally any confidence in stocks, because stocks are companies. Companies, it's more or less shares. It is a companies, because of trade war, there is uncertainty. Say, and yes, sure, say, because you will make a profit in 2022, 2023, no, over making it this year, there. And I was semi-fat baby, made to me, I invest in Misika, a hot dear, me assure, say, it will be hedged against risk. And a gold, and so one of the commodities, a lot of people find value in it because you see gold, the emperor. And one of the reasons why ama gold demand akosra enuntino ne boa no akosra Ghana ene amanya ye konton gold no ye nya sika bibiri efimo enti ne ekoso kakra e wo sa sector no enie enti so obi bisa se ade na MPP anya the question is na MPP emphasize eye sika ya make na reserves na komo ho kwasen ko omudetumi di support currency no but because of this conditionality I'm making the MPP did not have the luxury at that time say na over $4 billion na in a year or the go central bank no or because be pia e de go your friend saying
yes MPP for the omo pa memu frenchem the omo penny ni ma memu enti na du ba bi na so ye hu bibi kura no a one typical example me hu say ban na dey ashem say or ma Wama ECG revenue moving from 700 to 1.3 billion. Meanwhile, as at October 21, 2024, and Kenufurata a report is
1.3.
Yenya 1.3 billion.
Yeah,
and then you efficiency better
new meters, yes.
One of the major drivers.
Yes.
But no some Crawford punish MPP for it. Say omobobo is same both meters. But today at Forson abetusika emodi bono ho abaso.
Na question also ye be say ho say all kind budget no no kasa ono na NDC no. E was so clear one intervention. NDC aban dia bante nunti na nunti na be ha make say problem me work akra even including ye mu be crazy so called intellectuals no. We don't go into the details of the budget.
But is that not the reason why in here SMPP before esusu homo ho ewo sa ni ma bi say ho say mo so be share the optics because man panic for be share economy fe 1 to 1 by Ghana for say konkonte boy edin eme to abati MPP kwotena fi NDC buy and all dey eka ebe say economy no ene man panic akufo ado the same thing abashishe economy ya fe on say space aba omo so mo ko market akobo be say enti waja hoyi ya no mo so abai enu bire omo be fi aban makọ by 2028 no my o man susuru
and there dey what can dey no correct na sani ya what can no say unim papa omfomra na me can say MPP no yende because me MPP me dem fancy na me nyo mo ba ko tena be bia kasa me neutral me neutral. Yes, I am a university professor but I'm not a neutral. I can't be neutral. I don't believe in neutrality. Ebema me ti kura pai me. See the problem when I say MPP as a party no we believe in transparency and honesty. Enunti na ye ko election a yankwa nkodi ntro ankyere Ghana fo. Enunti na ye ko elections a ye flag bearer Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia the realities enu ne obetumi dia aye na ye free bebia na ye gina obi be share bo se obema ye 24-hour economy we dem dey ra budget ni ma ena ono ankasa ne first budget na me ma history bi kakra Ghana for amuti a me ma history bi kakra wa ha adana me wo read a TV back so na me ma that history hwe the offer under the Fourth Republic adero me ye Jerry John Rawlings free mo anya ne baby coffee because ono the transition free military rule no or buy and or member to file say in or motor for say into say or a democratic person or contest say and or winning say oyi onu free hwa one na what the opposing views and as a political parties are one more aba afterwards one more action akase based on political manifesto the other kind of say flagship programs no me magana for as me case be atom because 2028 na me adom ni nyina tin comment be be saba hwe dawro me mfa yewura John Ajekum Kufuor because ono ne tumbeje franka e free NDC nsim yewura John Ajekum Kufuor ama obo entoa 1999 2000 se Ghana for ntoa mama no then tani emi bi afene na emi se yewie GH so sesen asama na o kan say wo hwe Ghana ha ade ba ko edi enya ayayaresa nti e wose etumi de friend say apomudie nsi nkyire ba eye national health insurance eba meboa yewura Kufuor ebe win elections in 2021 yes sorry 2001 is sworn in as president by 2003 I stand to be corrected now the flagship policy here apomudin CH by health insurance no was said Numa from 2001 ama by 2003 no now it's into full force ananeboa so oye yewura Kufuor free honoma the next person ono so buy ya ono so ebe share bo akase a ono so my dear friend is a flagship program e won manifesto ye papa John Evans Atamelsa wenye ne baby ko meboa
yes
na sa program na anything
one time premium
so one time premium so ono de yewura president Kufuor health insurance no de ba na obi etua kakra no ono de obe na once to say wo ba ne na wutua ma na no ano na kra ne ntua bi mkopi say obe nyina gba akokra na abrewa na wafiu ya aseko papa ebedi tumi eni afi ba ko mienu entem ena obeka kyese asem no kan no wanka ne yenti Ghana for fancha no meboa
yes
onu ofi ho na yewura John Dramani Mahama no we ne vice ebentoa na mamuso and on also ebe share bo maybe I mean kasa on put the flagship program on the emisene ye boka kebi no she or say obeye ni e friend say community day schools meboa
yes
and obeye bibi e friend say free progressive senior high school me pacho at the time I will fear about in 2016 what was the state of community day schools now per Auditor General's report not more than 23 of these community day schools have been completed. Let me say the year and they fully completed and 23 if my memory serves me right from the document I read. At the same time, this free progressive senior high school or class be implemented. The same Auditor General report by after 2016 tells us that there was a CSR 55 or
380 million Ghana cedis.
That's a we kite had it away.